What's up, world? It's your girl Snow. I am back with my official Dear Diary series where I talk about real life situations from a Christian perspective to help you and me. If you are a fan of my videos, go ahead and show me some support by pressing that like button below and make sure you subscribe as well. Go ahead and share. Show your girl your care with a share, okay? So today's Dear Diary topic is, Dear Diary, do I really know how to love myself? I have reflected over my life and asked myself that question a couple of times, paying attention to some of the bad decisions I've made, some of the crazy situations I've ended up in. And I thought to myself, why would I put myself through this? Or why would I allow myself to go through this situation? Okay? Haven't we all been there before? I'm going to go ahead and set the atmosphere with some facts, okay? And so the facts I want to talk about, I would call it an entity of three. So the person is made up of three parts. And those three parts are the body, which responds to the flesh. You have the soul, which is the mind, responsible for making decisions and also our perception or the way we understand things. And then you have the spirit. And the spirit is the supernatural portion of the body that's responsible for being able to connect and communicate with God, our higher power. Okay? So, a lot of times in our body, we respond to the world around us, and the world around us feeds off of our flesh. So we experience what we call fleshly desires. So in our flesh, we want to be involved in things, and we want to feel things that feel good, things that look good, things that taste good, things that appear good, things that are convenient, things that are easy. We want to feel pleasure, okay? And this is in our body, right? So the problem with this is we respond to the things around us in the world, the things that we see and the things that we're exposed to. Because the world that we live in is unholy ground, then more than likely the things our flesh desires are unholy, right? Or fleshly or of the world. So the best way to get out of this situation is to work to have our desires based around what God has in His will for us, or avoid worldly desires by focusing on lining our desires up with our supernatural being. Okay? So, how can I start? Usually when I post a video and I have a Dear Diary topic or Dear Diary question, I usually say yes. The answer is yes to whatever the question is. But this time I'm going to say no. And the reason is, if we have to really evaluate ourselves and take a look at our lives and ask ourselves, do I really know how to love me? Then 9 times out of 10, then there's something inside of us telling us that we don't, or that we could do a better job at it. A couple years back, Wendy's came out with natural lemonade, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if it's natural or if it's artificial or what, but it tastes natural to me, so we're going to operate off of that, okay? So, Wendy's came out with the natural lemonade, and when you drink the natural lemonade, you're able to taste more of the fruit, okay, in the lemonade. And now it does cost a little bit more, but I think it's worth it. It has a little sour twang to it, but you get that satisfaction that you want when you desire the taste of lemon, okay? Then on this side, you have the artificial lemonade. So it has artificial flavoring, makes it taste good in the moment, but it doesn't quite quench your thirst the same because you're not able to taste as much of the fruit when you drink it, right? And then also on top of that, it has all of these chemicals and artificial things that in the long run are not as healthy for your body. So with the natural lemonade, you're intaking a substance that's good for you, okay? It tastes good and it's good for your body, inside and out. But with the artificial, you have chemicals in it that are not so good for you, okay? And I think sometimes that's how we show ourselves love. We flood ourselves with artificial ways of showing love. We love to get our hair done and keep our nails done. Me and y'all got fresh lines and y'all got money in the bank. We go out and we kick it and we buy ourselves this and that and we travel and we blow our money. and we just spend it on materials and things that make us feel so good. But if it's not feeding us on the inside, right, as well as the outside, if it's not feeding our inner man, then it's artificial love, and it more than likely it's not good for us. And so that's the same. That type of comparison is the same with the flesh, okay, versus feeding the flesh versus feeding our supernatural being or our spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to 3 ways that we can genuinely love ourselves, okay? The first way that we can genuinely love ourselves and show ourselves love is to make ourselves a priority. Now, we say we do, but 9 times out of 10, like, how often do we really do that? We put everything else in front of me. So the same amount of energy that we putting in that man or that woman or whatever the situation is, or their job, we need to put that energy on ourselves. Place ourselves first. Love ourselves. Show ourselves love. Okay? And the best way to do that is to pause and just evaluate our situations. Okay? Look at it with the tables turns and see how we really treat ourselves and how we respond in life. So let's say we have a friend. Our friend name is Josh. Josh is cool. We had good times together. You know, we kick it. Boom. But we also notice that sometimes we hit Josh up. Josh don't always hit us back up. Or, you know, or we shoot him a text. Sometimes he get around to texting us when we want to, when he wants to, rather than responding, I would say, in a timely fashion or just showing that you care. Right? So let's flip the tables. Let's take a look at this picture. Josh is our friend, but instead, Josh is the one that's initiating all the pursuit. Josh is the one wanting to spend time with us. Josh is the one hitting us up, want to kick it, woody woo. Okay, Josh send us a text. We text back. Josh call us. We call Josh back. Josh throw us some money. We go ahead and pay Josh back. Why do we do this? We're doing this because that's the good thing to do, right? Treat others as we want ourselves to be treated. However, when you flip the tables, Josh didn't do the same thing. Okay? So when you're dealing with a situation like that, you have to look at it from the flip side and say, what do I deserve? If Josh is not making me a priority, why would I make Josh a priority? Not playing tit for tat, but making sure that you're loving yourself and you're taking care of yourself at all times. So the same energy that you wanted from Josh that he didn't reciprocate, place that energy on us. If it didn't make us feel good to be avoided or to be ignored or it to be excluded the way Josh did us, then why would we turn around and treat ourselves like that by giving Josh more energy and more time and more respect and more concern than we do ourselves? We have to treat ourselves like a priority. We have to be a priority for ourselves in order to effectively love ourselves, okay? So that's point 1. Point 2, to be able to genuinely love ourselves and do a great job at it, is to focus on us again. When God created each of us, He created us unique. We're all specific, special beings. We were born into this world with specific personality traits and characteristics. We had specific goals, right? Things that we wanted to accomplish, hobbies. We were born into this world for a specific person, but a lot of times we go through life and we experience things. And the things that we experience slowly take away from who we are and who we're made to be. And through these experiences, we become hurt and we become damaged. So we have to get back to who we are. We have to work on healing ourselves and becoming a whole person in order to effectively love ourselves, right? Okay? And so what are some ways that we can do this? Well, let's write out a list. Let's write out a list and put in one list of things that the goals that we have accomplished and the goals that we've said that we haven't accomplished. And instead of putting that extra energy on Josh or Jasmine or Adam or April, put that extra energy on ourselves. Some things that we want to accomplish in life, right? Okay? We can make out a list. Things that we enjoy, likenesses, right? Our hobbies. What are some hobbies that we actually make time for and we actually get a chance to do? And then what are some hobbies that we haven't really gotten around to in a minute? Spend some time on us. make some time to accomplish those things that we were born to do, to get into those things, to work towards those things, to excel at those things, to succeed at who we are, okay? We have to love who we are. We have to want to be whole and be healed in order to love ourselves, okay? And we have to appreciate ourselves and what we represent in order to effectively love ourselves. So that is point 2, okay? The third thing that we can do to genuinely love ourselves, right? Do I really love me? Is to, how do you say it? Those unhealthy cycles. Break them. Get rid of them. We got to break those unhealthy cycles, okay? In life, we go through things, we have experiences, we put up guards, and we create all of these unhealthy cycles. And a lot of times they spear from bad habits that we've picked up. So we have to break those things and remember that entity of 3. So this is the point. This is the time where we have to put that entity, the body, okay, which is the flesh, the soul, which is our minds and our decision-making portion of our body, and the spirit. We have to put those things in place. We have to align those things in order to break those bad habits. A lot of times, we create bad habits from bad experiences and unhealthy cycles from bad experiences. Remember what I said about wanting to feel pleasure and wanting to feel good. Sometimes it just seems easier. It just seems a little bit more fulfilling to do it the simple way, or take the shortcut and put that time in and be patient, okay? Or do things that require a little bit more energy, especially when we've been hurt before. We done been hurt. We don't want to put that same energy in, but in order to live and get the best out of our lives, and live in better cycles rather than unhealthy cycles, we have to love ourselves enough to still put that energy in, believe that we're worth it. So a lot of times with unhealthy cycles, we make decisions based on avoiding, okay? We want to avoid heartache, so we try harder, or we put more energy in to love that person that might not even be worth loving, okay? We want to blend in or be a part of the crowd. So we just go along things that even if we shouldn't go along with it. We want to avoid loneliness. So we become promiscuous, or we allow people to take advantage of us in ways that we shouldn't. It's easier that way, right? I don't want to get hurt again, or I don't want to be disappointed, or, I don't want to be let down. I don't want to feel like a failure. So I'm going to take the easy way out. But the easy way, 9 times out of 10, involves unhealthy cycles. And unhealthy cycles are detrimental to our spirit, okay? So let's talk about aligning up those 3 things. In order to break these unhealthy cycles, you have to be willing to align with the body of Christ, okay? And that requires us to get into the Word. Everything that we need for success is in the Word of God. So the more we get into the Word, the more that we're able to gain information to feed our spirit. Once we're able to feed our spirit, we can put this healthy information in our minds and act off of our minds. So instead of making temporary unhealthy decisions, we're able to think about the situation, process it a little bit different. We have the Word instilled in us that we can meditate on, and that way we can make healthier decisions that create longevity, okay, and spiritual growth rather than spiritual defeat, okay? Because you have to be whole. You have to be in a whole place. Your inner man, your spirit man, not just my flesh, not just what feels good to me in that moment, but what's healthy for me on the inside, healthy for my mind, right? Healthy for my body, right? Healthy for my immune system, healthy for my spirit. It gives me life instead of death in order to love ourselves, okay? And so to sum it all up, the 3 things: making ourselves a priority, getting back to who we are, who we were born to be, wanting to be healed in that, and then breaking those unhealthy cycles are all things that are good to do, are great to do, a great advantage to do through Christ in order to be whole, okay? And it takes us being whole, a whole person, in order to love ourselves. And also, we have to be able to love ourselves to love anyone else. Until next time, deuces.